deposed, sir?
So confirmed.
So court pleases my lord.
Yes, sir.
Lieutenant Colonel Raphadu, we were on page 2, paragraph 5. We had just finished paragraph 4.3. You can just continue with the printed part just before paragraph 5.
He then gives the following answers to the questions above. The content and the object of every question has been explained to him or her. Do you understand the advice given to you by the Justice of the Peace? Said, yes, I'm willing to give a statement without any legal practitioner.
Bese ebuzwa lokho okulandelayo ke noma inikeza le impendulo ezilandelayo kwimibuzo ke engaphezulu lo okubhaliwe ke kanye nenhloso ke yale mibuzo kuchaziwe kuyena. Ungabe uyakuzwa na yini lo okuchazelwayo ke Justice of the Peace? Athi yebo, futhi ke ngiyimisele ukunikeza ngestatement ngaphandle kommeli.
Do you still wish to continue making the statement? His response is yes, I'm continuing.
Usafisa yini ukuthi uqhubekeke ngokunikeza ngestatement? Yebo, ngiyaqhubeka.
Have you been assaulted or threatened by any person in order to influence you to come and make this statement? His response was no.
Ingabe washaywa yini, wasatshiswa yini noma waqhuqhuzelwa yini umuntu ukuthi uzokwenza lesi statement? Impendulo yakhe yathi cha.
If so, by whom were you assaulted and when? And how did it occur? The response was not applicable.
Uma kukuthi kunjalo ke ubani owakushaya nini futhi kanjani futhi kwenzeka kuphi lokho? Cha, akuzange kwenzeke.
Was this assault reported, and if so, to whom and when? Response was not applicable.
Lokhu kushaywa lokhu ingaba wachaza yini noma umbiko wenziwa yini ngokuthi ke washaywa? Uma kukuthi kanjalo kubani nini? Cha, akukho.
Were you in any way influenced or encouraged by any person to make a statement? No.
Ingaba ke khona ke indlela hehwa ngayo noma ke owaqhuqhuzelwa ngayo umuntu nje uthizeni ukuthi wenze istatement? Cha.
Have any promises been made to you by any person? If so, if you should make a statement?
Ingaba ikhona yini ithembiso ezenziwe kuwena umuntu nje nomkhona nje umuntu owenze ithembiso kuwena ukuthi wenze istatement? Impendulo yathi
no.
Yathi cha.
If so, what are the promises? Not applicable.
Uma kunjalo ke isithini ithembiso? Akukho lokho noma azikho.
To what extent, if at all, did these promises lead to your decision to make a statement? Not applicable.
Uma kulokho ke lezi thembiso lezi ke ngabe zenzeni ke ukukholela ukuthi ke uthathe isinqumo sokuthi wenze lesi statement? Akukho ke lokho ngoba eshilo ukuthi ithembiso azikho.
Do you expect benefits if you make a statement? No.
Ingaba ubheke noma ulindele inzuzo yini uma ngabe wenza istatement? Cha.
If so, what benefits? Not applicable.
Uma kunjalo ke yipi inzuzo ngoba ke bese cha kuthiwa ke ayikho ke leyo.
To what extent, if at all, did the fact that you expect benefits influence you to make a statement? None.
Uma kuukuthi ke noma lokho kokuthi ke ulindele ithembiso noma ulindele inzuzo lokho ke kuqhuquzele kuyingayiphi indlela ukuthi wenze lesi statement lutho.
Have you at any time in the past made a statement, whether orally or in writing to any person concerning this incident? No.
Ingabe ngaphambilini ke wasenza yini istatement noma kuukuthi ngokukhuluma ngokubhala phansi komunye umuntu mayelana nalesehlakalo waphendula wathi cha.
If so, to whom, when, and under what circumstances?
Uma kunjalo ke kubani nini futhi ngaphansi kwaziphi izimo?
Not applicable.
Lokho ke akukho ke ngoba ebeseshilo wathi cha.
Why do you wish to repeat the statement? Not applicable.
Ungani ke ufisa ukuthi uphinde istatement ngoba ke beseshilo ukuthi asika senzile ukuthi ke lokho ke akukho.
Were you arrested? Yes.
Ingabe waboshwa? Yebo.
When were you arrested? 2020 June the 16th.
Waboshwa nini? 2020 nge-16 zika June.
Do you have any injuries? If so, how and when were they sustained? No.
Ingabe ulimele yini nakukulimala yini noma amanqaba yini? Uma kunjalo ke kanjani nini? Atholakala kanjani nini? Athi cha.
Observation to the justice of the peace? No.
Okuboniwe ke imina ke ujustice of the peace? Cha.
If you say no there, can you just explain what is the context?
In other words, there were no signs of assault on the said accused person.
Uma ngithi no ke lapha noma ngithe cha ke lapha ukuthi ke kwazingekho ke izimpawu zokushaywa kumsolwa loyo.
If so, against who and why?
14.
No, 14.
Oh. Do you object to the presence of any person in or in the immediate vicinity of this office? Response was no.
Ngaba unenkinga yini ukuthi kube nomuntu ke eduze noma eduze nje kwale office lena waphendula ke wathi cha.
Whilst we are on this aspect, if I can just briefly refer you to page 1. Just below the name of the deponent, it stated the interpreter and I are in the office and nobody else. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Yebo ke kubhaliwe lana ukuthi utolika nami
But
in office akekho omunye umuntu.
But is that sentence correct? Was there an interpreter?
There was no interpreter. It was only me and him.
Utolika wayengekho kwakuyimina naye kuphela.
Thank you. Yes. You were on paragraph 14 of page 4.
We're done with 14.1.
If so, against who and why? Not applicable.
Uma ke kunjalo ke ngakubani noma ngani isizathu athi cha ke akukho lokho.
Do you still wish to make a statement? Yes.
Usafisa yini ukwenza istatement? Yebo.
Paragraph 15.1 has been redacted, so you can omit that paragraph and go to paragraph 16.
Are you at this moment under the influence of liquor and or drugs? No.
Ingabe manje ke ungaba uphuzile yini ke utshwala noma ke idakamizwa? Pendulo cha.
Observation of the justice of peace. No response written there.
Ukuthi ke ngakubona kanjani noma ngabonani ke ayikho impendulo ebhaliwe lapho.
I've omitted it.
Ngikushiyelele ke lokho ukuthi ngikubhale.
Yes.
But in overall, he was sober and clean.
Ngaphoda ke waye esoba njena ke futhi ke eclean.
Yes.
Since it appears that the deponent is in his sound and sober senses, he had not been unduly influenced thereto, understand his rights are prescribed by Section 35 of the final Constitution and freely and voluntarily wishes to make a statement, he is informed that he may now proceed. On yes,
just a minute.
Manje ke nanjengoba kubukeka ke ukuthi ke usempondweni ke ngokuphelele futhi ke akukheke obenomthelela ke ngendlela nje engekho kahle ke futhi ke uyakuzwa noma amalungelo ewachazele uyawezwa nanjengoba ekhona ke ku section 35 futhi ke ukhululekile kuphuma kuyena ufisa ukwenza istatement useyatshelwa ke manje ukuthi usengaqhubeka.
Is it correct that the questions that you've just canvassed now up to paragraph 17.3 were before the making of the statement?
That's correct.
Lemi buzo ke ngikhulume ngayo manje kuzokufica lana ku 17.3 yonke konke lokho kwenzeka ngaphambi kokuthi kwenziwe istatement.
Yes, what happened thereafter after the procedure as set out in 17.3?
I then took down the statement.
Emuva kwalokho ke manje sekuthi kusekwenzekile konke lokuyana ila engaqala khona ke ukuthi ngithathe istatement.
Yes, and what happened thereafter?
Upon completion of the statement,
yes, paragraph 18.
On completing the statement, it is read to the deponent and is also given the opportunity of reading the statement himself and of changing the statements he or she seems it necessary.
Emuva kokuqedwa ke kwaso istatement uyasifundelwa ke naye ke ase enikezwa ithuba lokuthi ayifundeleke yena ke istatement leso nokuthi ashintsheke istatement la abona kunesidingo khona noma kuyisidingo khona.
See there's a initialing next to paragraph 18. What does that signify?
It signifies that there are some cancellations, and it was for him to confirm the cancellation.
Ngokuthi lana ke eduze
Myself and him.
Eduze ke ko point 18 kukhona ke lapho ekubhaliwe noma ke initiala uthi ke uchaza ukuthi khona lokho okwasulwa ke isiqinisekiso ke uyaqinisekisa ngokuthi abekeke lapho initial yakhe nami futhi ngenze lokho.
Yes, you may proceed.
Note down whether he also reads through the statement. Yes.
Bhala phansi ke ukuthi naye ke wayifundela yini istatement ye impendulo yathi yebo.
Has the statement been read back to the deponent by you and the interpreter? Yes.
Ingabe istatement lesi waphinde wasifundelwa futhi wena kanye notolika? Yebo.
You've already mentioned that there was no interpreter used
That's
during
correct.
this process.
Bese ngishilo ukuthi utolika wayengekho.
Yes. So who read the statement back to him?
I read the statement myself back to him.
Mina ke owamfundela istatement emuva sokuthi esiqediwe.
Yes, paragraph 19.
The following questions are now put to the deponent. Are you satisfied that which you stated has been noted down correctly? The response was yes.
Ngabe wena usekile yini ukuthi lokho okushilo kubhalwe phansi kubhalwe kahle phansi? Impendulo yathi yebo.
Do you have any complaints as to the manner in which I took down the statements? The response was no.
Ngabe nakukhala yini ke noma ukunganeliseki ke mayelana nendlela engibhale ngayo lesi statement? Impendulo yathi cha.
Are you satisfied with the interpreter? He said yes.
Ngabe wena usekile yini ngotolika? Athi yebo.
Morocco, 2020-06, 19-11-47.
Kwenzeka ke lokhu eMorocco date 19 zika June 2020 isikhathi 11:47.
Just read everything in the record. That which proceeds Morocco.
That is the date that I completed the statement. It was 2020-06, the 19th.
Idate lena ke engaqeda ngayo ke istatement lesi nge 19 zika June 2020.
The time was 11:47.
Isikhathi kwaku 11:47.
Yes. And what follows below that?
Is his thumbprint, my signature, thumbprint and his signature.
Bese kuba isithupha sakhe ke isignature yami kanye futhi nesignature yakhe.
And then starting on page 1 again, there's a signature. Those signatures and thumbprints, can you just identify them?
Yes. The signature is mine on the far right, and the thumbprint belongs to the accused person, and his signature next to it.
Eku right ke signature eyami bese kuthi ke isithupha ke kanye futhi ne signature yakhe lesakhe kanye ne signature leyo eseduze kwasisithupha.
Yes. The second page.
His thumbprint, signature, and my signature.
Isithupha sakhe signature yakhe kanye futhi neyami signature.
Third page.
His thumbprint, signature, and my signature.
Wabeka isithupha ke lapho wasebeya sayinda nami ngasayinda futhi.
Yes, fourth page.
His thumbprint, signature, and my signature.
Wabeka isithupha na ku pages u4 wasayinda nami futhi ngasayinda.
You indicate on page 1 that the interview started at 7:30 on the 19th of June 2020.
That's correct.
Shilo ke ku page 1 ukuthi interview leyo ke yaqala ngo 7:30 ngazo in 19 zika June 2020.
And it was completed at what time?
It was completed at 11:47. Let me just, 11:47.
Yase iqedwa ke ngo 11:47.
Yes, and what happened upon completion of the interview?
It was read back to the
Yes.
accused person.
Yes, sir.
Maseqediwe ke wase efundelwa.
Yes, you've already put that on record. What happened after it was read back?
And then these signatures were made.
Emuva kokuthi esefundelwe ke ila khona sekusayinwa khona ke.
Yes.
And as apparently he has an elementary education, he understands a little bit of English. I handed it back to him for any corrections.
Ngoba ke isingisi lesana ke enayo ke indawo yokuthi ke kanganje asizwe ka understand ngamnikeza ke ukuthi ke uma khona afisa ukuthi akulungise.
Yes.
It was handed back to me.
Wabe sesibuyisela ke mina futhi.
Yes.
Then I took him back to Jonathan of EMPD.
Ngase ngimbuyisela ke kuJonathan wayo iEMPD.
Yes, and what did you do with the statement, Exhibit HH?
I took the statement with me, I think 2 days later, it was collected from my office by the investigating officer.
Ngasithatha ke statement ngahamba naso cabanga ukuthi ke kusikhathi ke sama langa amabili umseshi noma umphenyi wecala bazosithatha kumina ke officeini yami.
Is there anything else that you wish to add, Lieutenant Colonel?
No.
Akukho kunye ke ngifisa ukuthi ngikusho.
Thank you, my lord. That is all.
Yes. Yes, Mr. Ngomeni.
God pleases, my lord. Sir, I've got questions in relation to the taking of the statement, but I just wanted clarity from you whether on the day you said you took the statement, I think the 19th of June, was it a normal statement or a confession?
It was a confession.
Ngalelanga ke ngangithatha ngalo ke lesi ngamthatha ke iconfession ngamagama ke la ewayevula khona ke isifuba.
Will you agree with me if I say a statement is just an expression of something, either verbally or in writing? Will you agree with me?
Yes, I will agree with you.
Ngizovumelana ke nawe uma uthi istatement nje ukusho into ke noma ke uyisho leyo nto ngomlomo noma ibhalwa phansi.
But a confession has a different meaning as opposed to an ordinary statement. Do you agree?
I agree, but can I elaborate on that?
Yes, please.
The issue here, I used a pro forma. In the pro forma, there is part of it is a statement that you have to obtain in a confession.
Yebo ke ngizovuma ke kodwa uma uthi ke khulunywa manje ke ngokuvula isifuba noma iconfession ke ukuthi ke yona ke kuhlukile ke lokho kodwa ke lana ngisebenzisa ke iproforma liyona ke eshoyo ke ukuthi uma uthatha leyo confession noma ke istatement kune statement ke esithathwayo kuyona ke leyo confession leyo.
So does this pro forma stipulate or expresses that it is made under the provisions governing a confession? From the look of this document, does it state expressly that it is made under a provision that governs confessions?
That's correct. Because if you read the questions that have been set up in this pro forma, are the questions that prove the admissibility requirements for the confession.
Lana ke uma ufunda imibuzo lena ke ekhona ke kule form lena eyisebenzisayo ukuthi imibuzo ke ehambiselana ke nokwamukeleka ke noma nokuvunywa ke kwayo ke i-confession noma ke ukuvula isifuba.
No, my question actually, I understand the content or the content of the pro forma. Does it introduce this pro forma as a pro forma made in terms of Section 217 of the Criminal Procedure Act?
That's
Does
correct.
it state so?
That's correct.
Iform lena ke iyachaza ke ukuthi ke lokho okwenzwayo ke noma ke lo kungaphansi kwakhe ke uSection 217.
Can you please read it for me where it expressly says that from that pro forma?
I suggest, not to suggest, my lord, the requirements of Section 217 is that the person must be warned in terms of Section 35.
Okushiwo ke sorry, okushiwo 217 ukuthi umuntu kufanele axwayiswe ke yiloko noma ke lokho okhona ke kukhona ukuyena section 35.
And that the requirements is that it must be done freely and voluntarily, without undue processes.
Nokuthi futhi ke lokho kufanele kwenzeke noma kwenziwe ke umuntu ke kwenza lokho ekhululekile kungekho ukuthi ke uqhuquzelwe ngendlela engafanelekile.
Sorry sir, before, let me know, can I please interject? Can I please go back to the question where it says where in this pro forma, because you said it is stipulated in the pro forma. Can you please show me where it is stipulated?
Please, Manot, I don't know if there is a fair question. The witnesses said the import of section 217 is covered in the questionnaire. Is the witness now expected to point section 217 in the in the pro forma? We submit, my lord, that there is not a fair question.
Yeah. Yes.
May I respond by saying, my lord, the relevance of that question is founded on a prescribed formality that must be complied with.
Which is what?
Which is 217.
Okay, if you read this document, it says confession and admission.
That's
Does
correct.
that make any sense of it?
It makes sense. That's
No,
why.
should I not?
My lord, may I just?
Okay, fine, you heard me.
Yes.
Because this document is headed confession and
admissions.
So you incorporate that maybe in your questions also.
Thank you, my lord. My follow-up question, sir, is I wanted you to draw a distinction between a confession and admission, because they are governed by different provisions.
Once again, my lord, without trying to curtail my learned friend's cross-examination, that's a legal question. You know, the difference between a confession and admission. I don't think it's a fair question to the witness.
Yes, Mr.
My lord, in response to that, is the justice of peace. He should be familiar. He must be able to identify that at the present moment when I'm taking this, because it's a confession, when I'm doing this, it's an admission. So,
But sorry, I don't want to get involved in this. This witness said that the requirements of section 217 is that a person must be warned in terms of section 35, and that this must be done freely and voluntarily. And I'm quoting him. I wrote it verbatim. That's what he says.
yes.
Fine.
My lord, may I still insist on section 217 as it is not expressly provided in the pro forma.
No, quite so it is not.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
what
a fact. That's a fact. It's not.
That's
Let's-
correct, my lord.
Yeah, let's
May
make
I
progress.
proceed in terms of, because there's a reason why I'm asking this. If section 217, so let me just rephrase this by saying this. Have you taken confessions before? And for how long have you been doing this?
I've taken confessions before, and for the entire career of mine.
Ngikwenzileke ukuthi ke ngaphambilini ke ama confessions ngiwenzeke noma ngiwathathe sonke lesi sikhathi ke ngisesiphoyiseni.
Have you obtained a special training in relation to the taking of a confessions and admissions during the course of your career?
Correct?
Nokuthi ke ngiqeqeshiwe-ke noma ngikutholile-ke ukuthi ngiqeqeshwe-ke kwisikhathi-ke ngisebenza emaphoyiseni ukuthi kuwathathe-ke noma ngiwabhale phansi ama-confession.
Can you explain that?
I was in various units in the service, and I've acquired more experience, even though not an expertise, but I've acquired quite a lot of knowledge in respect to that.
Ngisebenzile-ke kuma-unit amaningi-ke khona la ngaphakathi-ke emaphoyiseni, futhi-ke ngaleso sikhathi-ke ngisebenza-ke ngiye ngathola-ke isipiliyoni esiningi-ke kuwona-ke umsebenzi lona noma ekwenzeni khona lokho, noma-ke ngekuthi ngiyena-ke uchwepheshe nobungoti.
Thank you. In terms of Section 217 of Criminal Procedure Act, it makes a provision in terms of subsection 1, where a non-judicial officer can take a confession. Do you agree, or you want to read the provision before you give an answer?
I cannot dispute that.
Ukuthi uthi-ke section 217 subsection 1 uthini-ke ngokumayela naloyo ongasiyena-ke umantshi-ke ngokumayela nokuthi athathe confession. Uma usho kanjalo angeke ngikuphikise.
So, Section 217 1B, Roman figure 2, is a confession taken by a judicial officer. You won't dispute that.
I won't dispute that. Because the main fact is that even though it was taken by a judicial office or a policeman or any other person, it must be brought to court for a test.
Ukuthi-ke wena uthi section 217 1B uthini-ke mina ngizothi-ke angeke ngiphikiseke, kodwa ngizothi-ke ukuthi uthathwe imantshi, iphoyisa noma omunye umuntu, kodwa-ke ekugcineni kufanele ukuthi kuze enkantolo kube inkantolo-ke ezokuvivinya lokho.
We'll get into that part. We are still laying the basis on the provision that governs confessions. My question, the next question is, from the distinction that I've drawn between 2171A and 2171B, which of these two provisions you took these confessions, this confession, the alleged confession? Which of the two provisions?
I took it under as a justice of the peace.
Ukuthi-ke le statement lesi noma-ke lokukhuluma lokhu-ke ukuvukisa uba-ke ngakuthatha ngaphansi kwayiphi-ke i-section, mina ngikuthathe-ke nanjengolowo obizwa ngokuthi-ke i-justice of the peace.
Thank you. Can you please, because I'm getting to that position as the justice of the peace, I ask the question as to between these two provisions, is the justice of the peace covered under Section 2171A, or is it covered under Section 2171B, Roman figure 2?
Please, my Lord, with the greatest of respect, the witness is now expected to be a legal expert. I think those are the issues that can be addressed when we address the court. The witness doesn't even have the Criminal Procedure Act in front.
Are you saying Lieutenant Colonel Raphadu is not entitled by law to take the confession?
My Lord,
you want him to give us a lecture?
No. That's not my intention.
Is he entitled to take, if he says he's a justice of a peace,
yes,
is he entitled to take a confession?
But, my Lord, we are governed by two provisions relating to the taking of the confession.
Right.
Hence, I want him to give clarity in terms of his appointment as a justice of the peace.
But he just said, I took the confession because I am a justice of the peace. That's what he says, not me.
My Lord, may I, because we are governed by two provisions there. The simple question is, where does he belong between these two provisions? Is it from 1A or from
He's not a magistrate, for
1B.
instance.
He's not a magistrate.
Mr. Raphadu, are you a magistrate?
No, my lord.
What are you?
I'm a police official.
And are you entitled to take confessions?
That's correct, my lord.
As what?
As a justice of the peace.
Okay.
My lord,
angiyona imantshi ngiyiphoyisa yebo-ke ngokomthetho-ke ngivumelekileke ukuthi ngiyithathe-ke noma ngiyenzeke i-confession nanjenge-justice of the peace.
my lord, I would submit with due respect that I'll take it as, or I'll argue it at a later stage because it's a legal point that I wanted to clarify. May I proceed with my cross-examination? So, you said you, for the first time you met the accused was on the 19th. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Ngishilo ukuthi uqala kwami ukuhlangana naye-ke umsolo kwakungeyi-19.
So you received the instruction on the 18th from Mr. Kininda, from Brigadier Kininda. Is that correct?
Correct.
Mina-ke wangicela ngeyi-18 kuBrigadier Kininda.
When you received these instructions, you told the court that Jonathan and the escort brought Mr. Ntanzi to your office in Moroka police station.
Only Jonathan.
It's only Jonathan.
KwakuJonathan kuphela-ke owaletha uMr. Ntanzi e-ofisini yami eMoroka.
And when you took this confession, as per your, or when you completed the pro forma, there's somewhere it indicated that it was yourself and the interpreter. Can you clarify that point?
That's why I didn't make any annotations or any cancellations there, because I was interpreting for him.
Imbangela-ke ukuthi la kubhalwe khona-ke utolika ukuthi ngingasuli-ke ukuthi ngiqisheke lokho yingoba-ke mina-ke ngangimtolikele.
Oh, you regarded yourself as an interpreter. Are you a qualified interpreter?
Not in the real sense. I don't have documentation.
Anginawo-ke amaphepha-ke athi-ke ngumtolika-ke o-qualified.
All right. So according to your evidence, there was no communication breakdown between yourself and the accused?
No, we were flowing.
Ekhulumeni kwami naye-ke akukho okwakuthi la asizwana khona-ke inkulumo yayiqhubeka nje ihamba.
All right. So now a statement according to, it was only you and the accused in that office.
Correct.
Kwakuyimina naye kuphela-ke kuleyo office leyo.
All right. Before I proceed with the questions, the version of the accused is that when he was booked out from Moroka police station, he was taken to Randfontein, where he is employed, or where he was employed. And from Randfontein, from Carltonville, I beg your pardon, from Carltonville. From Carltonville, he was then, at Carltonville, he was transported by Mabena and Mohanu. You won't dispute that?
That I can deny. I can't deny. I wasn't part thereof.
Ukuthi-ke wasuka-ke noma wakhishwa-ke eMoroka wase ehanjiswa-ke eya eCarltonville. Usuka eCarltonville wahanjiswa-ke uMabena noMohane. Angikwazi-ke uphikisa into engangasiyona ingxenye yayo.
When they were still at Carltonville, Brigadier Kininda arrived, and he was in company of a lady, Mohola. And at that time, the accused was transported with a white Toyota Fortuner. You won't dispute that?
I will remain silent about it. I do not know.
Ngizothula ke ngalokho ngoba angikwazi ke ukuthi kwasefika uGininda ehamba nomkhula wase ehanjiswa ngefortune emhlophe.
When Gininda left, Brigadier Gininda left, they then took a direction towards Albertine, where they stopped at next to a filling station, which was opposite a company that is manufacturing steel.
That I don't know.
Ukuthi baye Albertine bama kuphi nendawo angikwazi lokho.
He was choked, tortured and assaulted by Mabena, Buthelezi and Jonathan. You won't dispute that.
I do not know about that.
Ukuthi washaywa Mabena, uButhelezi kanye no Jonathan angikwazi lokho.
So they insisted that he should tell them the truth about the murder case. When they choked him, they were using a silver plastic bag covering his face. You won't dispute that.
I do not know about that.
Angikwazi ke lokho ukuthi bamfaka ke iplastic ebusweni ababeyisebenzisa yona ke ukuthi bamcube eyayisilva ngombala.
They then took him to a place next to a dumping area. There's a place on the right-hand side on the direction of Albertine. It's a dumping area where he was further choked, assaulted to make such a confession statement. Can you comment on that? Nothing.
So what I can say is that when he was brought to me and I asked him about being assaulted, he never mentioned anything to me about being assaulted, and he was just freely and being a happy person.
Engakusho mina ke kokona konke lokho ukuthi washaywa wasiwa kuphi wenziwani uma efika ke phambi kwami akakaze asho lutho ngazi ngalezi zinto ke manje engitshela ukuthi washaywa ke wawumuntu nje owayekhululekile futhi ke happy.
You came to the picture after the assault in that area when he was driven by Mr. Mabena and Mukhano with a white Fortuner to Baragwanath Hospital. We call it Chris Hani Hospital, where they found you in company of your wife and you left the keys of the car to your wife.
I do not know anything about that. I haven't met anyone amongst the accused persons.
Sorry, you were saying he came into the picture at Baragwanath Hospital?
That's correct, my lord.
At the hospital?
At the hospital.
Not in the vicinity of Baragwanath?
No,
at the inside the hospital?
That's correct, my lord.
Right, and then what happens? The assertion?
Is
inside
that
the hospital?
The witness gave the car keys to his wife and there was a child.
I do not know of any incident. That assertion is wrong.
Leyo nkulumo leyo ke irong angikwazi ke lokho ukuthi kwahlangana nami ke noma bahlangana nami especially ke eBaragwana oyikhizana eBaragwana ngase nginikeza ke unkosikazi wami ke ikhiya zemoto kwakunengane eyayikhona angikwazi nje lutho lokho.
Okay, then you traveled from Crisani Hospital towards Orlando in Soweto, where this car was parked in an open area And my instruction is that there were old ATM machines that were no longer functioning, and it's next to a dumping area.
No, I'll disagree with that.
Futhi kwasekhanjwa ke kuyiwa ke manje Orlando eduze komama ATM amadala angasasebenzi ngizophikisana nalokho.
Brigadier Kininda with Miss Muhola arrived with a white BMW, and there was also an escort at that time.
I'll disagree with that.
Futhi kwasekufika uGininda umuhali behamba ke BMW emhlophe kwakune escort ngizophikisana nalokho.
Brigadier Gininda, I didn't know him at first. I didn't know him. I only knew him when he was phoning me.
Okokuqala ke uBrigadier Gininda ngangamazi. Ngazomazi ke uma engifonela.
Then Brigadier Kininda opened the boot of the BMW, a white BMW, and sat on the edge of the boot, of the open boot.
I'll disagree with that.
Ukuthi ke wasevula ke iboot yayo ke BMW leyo uGininda wahlala khona lapho ke emuva ke kwiboot evuliwe ngizophikisana nalokho.
Everyone was outside the motor vehicles. Then Brigadier Kininda took out documents and gave them to you.
I'll disagree with that.
Nokuthi ke wasekhipha ama documents uGininda wanikeza mina ngizophikisana nalokho.
The instruction from Brigadier Kininda was to the accused was that if you do not sign this document, the assault will carry on.
I do not know of any meeting with Brigadier Gininda.
Angazani na nomhlangano ke kanye no Brigadier Gininda kuloko kusho umele ukuthi wasethi ke uGininda kumsola uma ukuthi ke wasign lama document uzoqhubeka ke ushaywe. Angazani nomhlangano owawukhona pha kanye no Gininda.
So the torturing, the tubing, assaulting of the accused carried on until until you told the police officers that were around, after seeing the condition of the accused, you asked them whether is he still alive. That's the question you asked.
I was never involved in any of those assaults, or I do not know. I was not there.
Ukuthi ke ngase ngibuza mina ke kulapha bemshaya ukuthi usaphila yini angazani nalutho nje nokushaywa kwakhe ke ngangingekho lapho.
Then fearing for his life after the plastic was removed from his face, then he was made to sign the documents.
That's not correct. The documents, if you are referring to my confessions that I took, it all happened in the office at Morocco.
Akusona ke qiniso ukuthi ke ngokuthi ke manje sesakuseka impilo yakhe wasesayinda ke i-document. Uma ukhuluma na ngale confession mina ke engayithatha ke konke lokho kwenzeka ke e-ofisini eMorocco.
Then Mr. Mabena was in possession of the stamp which was used to take the thumbprint of the accused and attach it on the documents.
I'll disagree with that.
Ngizophikisana ke naloko ukuthi ke uMabhena uyena ke oyiphethe istem lesi ke oyibeka kusona ke isithupha sase sibekwa lana. Ngizokuphikisa lokho.
It was me who took his thumbprint.
Kwakuyimina umuntu ke owathatha isithupha sakhe.
My instruction is further to say that these documents were not all signed and there was no attachment of the thumbprint, so it was said to be incomplete. As a result, after he departed from that place, he was booked back to Moroka police station.
I'll disagree with that. It was done once in the office and I took the document with me.
Ukuthi ke kwase kutholakala ukuthi lama documents ke akuqedelelwanga ke noma ke awaphelele lokho ngizophikisana nako konke kwenziwa ngaqeda officeini eMoroka ngase ngihamba nawo ama documents.
Sorry, Mr. Mzulu. You say it was discovered that these documents were not complete. What do you mean by that?
By signing.
These documents were not completed.
Pro forma, yes.
They were not
completed in terms of signing and...
Also, they were half signed, in other words.
Half signed.
And the fingerprints also was half indented onto the documents.
That's correct.
The process was finished at
Moroka police station.
Okay, fine.
I'll disagree with that. The document I brought it myself. It was.
Sorry. Proceed.
It was clearly completed in front of me, read back to him, and he put the signature and the thumbprint together with my signature.
Ngizophikisa ke lokho ukuthi lokho ke kwase bona kutholakala ukuthi ke aqediwe ke kwase kuyoqedelelwa ke eMoroka. Le document yeza nami ngageza konke ngabhala ngamfundela wase ke uya signa nami ngesayina ubeka nesithupha futhi konke lokho kwenzeka eofficeini eMoroka.
And at Moroka police station, Jonathan was present, including other officers, when he signed for the second time and denting his thumbprint to complete the signing of the document.
He signed before me. There was no Jonathan in the office.
Wasayina phambi kwami kwangina Jonathan wayekhona eofficeini.
He will deny the fact that he ever made a statement. Neither was the statement read back to him. He never made such a statement. The statement came with Brigadier Kininda, and he was ordered to sign that statement.
It is incorrect. He made it to me.
Absolutely iqiniso ukuthi seza noGininda ke le statement wasenza kumina.
This means that he did not make a statement and he was not freely and voluntarily appending the signature on the statement.
He did all this freely and voluntarily, my lord.
Konke lokhu wakwenza ke ekhululekile kuphuma kuyena.
And on the requirement, he was coerced to make such, or to endorse or to append his signature on the written statement.
No, I'll disagree with that.
Sorry.
He put the signature thereof and the thumbprint freely.
In relation,
Ngizophikisana ke naloko uma uthi ke waphoqwa ke ukuthi akwenze lokho mina ngizothi wakuzenzeka ngokukhululeka ukuthi asayinde abeke nesithupha sakhe.
Sorry, Mr. Mgomezulu,
my lord,
I don't wish to interfere. Was this at night when this was happening in that Orlando dumping place?
during the day, man.
It was during the day?
During the day.
Okay.
Yes.
Thanks.
When we talk, may I proceed, my lord?
Yes, yes.
When we talk about the rights of the accused person, did it come to your attention that he was arrested on the 16th of June, 2020?
That's correct.
Yebo mangikhuluma ke naye ke ngama rights ke akhe noma ngitshela ngawo ngathola ke ukuthi waboshwa nge-16 kaJune 2020.
Did he indicate if there is another case he was arrested for, except the one it is alleged he made a confession on? Did he tell you?
Correct.
Yebo ngitshela ke bayana nelinye ke icala ke awayeliboshelwe ke ngaphandleni kwaleli ke icala.
What offense was that?
I didn't go into details. I just had the knowledge that he was arrested on another case.
Angizange ngifuneke noma ngingene ngijuleke mayelana nemininingwane ke ngayakuthola ke nje noma ngakuzwa ke ukuthi wayeboshelwe elinye icala futhi.
But let me put it to you as per his version, that he was arrested for being in possession of ammunition.
I will not disagree.
Angeke ngikuphiki. Sir.
I will agree with that.
Angeke ngikuphikiseke ngizovuma ke uma ethi yena ke wayeboshelwe ukutholakala nezinhlamvu.
And he was charged on the 16th of June 2020 for the same alleged offense.
That I don't know.
Ukuthi wachargewa ngazo lezo 16 kaJune lezo ngoko echargewa lezo lelo qala lelo angikwazi lo.
My Lord, may I approach that?
Yes, yes, yes.
My Lord, I'm in possession of the constitutional rights of the accused. I beg leave to show the witness
Yes.
if he can comment on this document. Mr. Raphadu, do you see that document, and it reflects the constitutional rights? Do you see that document?
That's correct.
Ngiyabona ke leli phepha.
Is the handwriting legible for you to read it?
Correct.
Iyabonakala ke le handwriting ukuthi ngayifunda.
What is the charge that is preferred against the, in terms of the document?
Possession of unlicensed ammunition.
Lana ke icala ke welithwesiwe ukutholakala ke nezinhlamvu eyingekho emthethweni noma ngokungekho emthethweni.
So the date bearing on the document, what date reflecting there?
Is on the 19th of June 2020.
Date lana ke 19 June 2020.
Where was that? Does it mention the station, the time he was charged?
It says here it's Phuke.
ithi ke ephukeng.
He was arrested on the 19th, 22 hours 45 minutes.
Uthi ke waboshwa nge-19 zika June 2020 isikhathi ke 4:11 ebusuku.
So I just want to establish, if it's not relevant to you, was the accused person, when he was arrested on the 16th of June, charged, formally charged?
Was he arrested on the 19th of June or the 16th of
The
June?
16th of June. The question
The document
relates
says he was
the
arrested when?
19th.
It was arrested, he was arrested on the 19th.
Where, sir? Where? In Johannesburg, Phuke.
Phuke, Malota.
On the 19th?
Yes,
Okay, fine.
22 hours 45.
Okay, fine, thanks.
But the date of his arrest in the present case, you didn't deny the fact that he was arrested on the 16th of June 2020. It came to your attention.
He said he will accept it because he is informing him. Not that he knew of the date of his arrest.
Hence, my lord, I indicated if it's fair to him to answer that. I'm putting to you, sir, that on the 16th of June 2020, on the day in which he was arrested for the murder case, the accused person was not charged.
Can you rephrase your question,
Yeah.
sir?
May I ask the question again? On the 16th of June 2020, when the accused was arrested at Rustenburg and booked at Moroka police station, he was not formally charged until the date of the 19th, the
That
date of the taking of the confession. He was not charged.
That was never mentioned to me, that he was not charged on this because he was arrested on the 16th. He was brought to me on the 19th. It depends on which day of the week was he arrested. That can render the arrest questionable.
Ukuthi ke akazange achajwe ke noma kathweswe kwamacala nge-16 zika June 2020 umeboshwa wase elethwa kumina ke nge-19 akazange angitsheleke lokho nokuthi futhi ke kuya ngokuthi ke iliphi ilanga aboshwe ngalo ke noma aboshwa ngalo evikini elingenza ukuthi kube nemibuzo ke mayelana ke nohlobo noma indlela aboshwa ngayo.
And it is further my instruction that a second confession is allegedly made on the 24th of June 2020 in Boksburg. And at that time also, he was not charged, formally charged.
I cannot respond to that. I was done with my job.
Ukuthi ke nge-24 wase eyophinda futhi ke eyovula isifuba ke lokho angeke ngikusho ke noma ngiphendule ngase ngiqedile ngwami umsebenzi mina.
All right. Thank you. May I have the document?
That document must be read into the record, please.
Thank you,
We
madam.
all know that. The contents of that document must be read into the record.
May I ask my colleague to read it now? Or even if the witness can read it.
Are you not able to screen it there so that Mr. Baloyi? Okay, let your colleague read it, but it must be recorded.
Can I read it? Can I read it?
Okay, fine. The heading, everything, please.
The numbers, the OB number 713
Yes.
06 2020. Cell number 294 /06 2020. And there's another number 118 06 2020. Notice of rights in terms of the Constitution, Section 35 of Act number 108 of 1996. You are being detained for the following reason: possession of unlicensed ammunition. As a person who is detained, you have the following rights. You have the right to consult with a legal practitioner of your choice, or should you so prefer, to apply to the Legal Aid Board to be provided by the state with the services of a legal practitioner. B, you have the right to challenge the lawfulness of your detention in person before a court of law and to be released if such detention is unlawful. C, you have the right to be detained under conditions consonant with human dignity, which shall include at least the provision of adequate accommodation, nutrition, reading material, and medical treatment at state expense. And you have the right to be given the opportunity to communicate with and be visited by your spouse or partner, next of kin, religious counselor, and a medical practitioner of your choice. 3, as a person arrested for the alleged commission of an offense, you have the following rights. A, you have the right to remain silent, and anything you say may be recorded and may be used as evidence against you. B, you are not compelled to make a confession or admission which could be used in evidence against you. You have the right to be brought before a court as soon as reasonably possibly, but not later than 48 hours after your arrest or the end of the first court day after the expiry of the 48 hours. If the 48 hours expire outside ordinary court hours or on a day which is not an ordinary court day, you have the right at the first court appearance after your arrest to be informed of the reason for your continued detention or to be released. And E, you have the right to be released from detention if the interests of justice permit, subject to reasonable conditions. You can exercise all the above mentioned rights at any stage during your detention. Then it goes on to say, certificate by detainee. I, Bongani Ntanzi, name of, in brackets, open brackets, name of detainee, close brackets, hereby certified that I have been informed in English, state language, of my rights in terms of the Constitution as set out above by Sergeant Mukhane, name of person, open brackets, name of person who informed the detainee, close brackets, and that I understand the contents thereof, date informed, 2020-06-19, time informed, 22:45, place informed, Pukeng, signature, thumbprint of detainee, there's a signature, my lord.
Yeah.
Signature of person who informed the detainee, there's a signature.
Is that Mukhane?
Mukhane, N-E.
Sorry. Yeah, okay, finish up. Is that all?
That is all.
Is there no space for an interpreter?
Okay, to be checked,
Because
because there's
I know
another
that-
space.
I know
Certificate by third person as
Yes.
witness if required, but there are no, that's not completed, my lord.
No. Is there no space for an interpreter? There must be. It may not be completed because according to what you have read, it is assumed that the accused was competent in English. Are you with me?
That is correct, my lord. Yes.
When Mr. Jonas, it says, certificate by a third person as witness if required. You saw this?
Yes, I just read it.
Oh, I see. And then it says, state language of his rights in terms of the Constitution as set out. And then it says, name of the person who informed the detainee. And then it says the contents thereof have been explained to him, right? And then, of course, the certificate of the third person is not. You can have a look at this. Apparently, this story is a long time. So according to that document, accused number, Mr. Ntazi, his rights were explained to him in English, according to that document.
Correct, madam.
Yebo ke ngoba le document amalungelo akhe Mr. Ntazi wawachazelwa ke nge-English noma ngesingisi.
Okay.
May I make a follow-up question?
Yes, sir, yes.
As it has been indicated that such rights were read to Mr. Ntanzi in English, one cannot come and confirm whether during the reading of such rights it was interpreted to him, or can confirm that he understood his rights in terms of the document. Do you agree?
I agree.
Ngiyavuma ke ukuthi ke nanjengoba kushiwo lapho ukuthi amalungelo akhe wawatshelwa ngesingisi akekho ke ozozovuma ke ukuthi wawezwa noma wawatolikela.
And in the absence of the interpreter, one cannot conclude by saying he fully understands what was contained in this document. Do you agree?
I will disagree with that.
Ngizokuphikisa ke uma uthi ke uma ke utolika wayengekho umuntu angeke avumeke ukuthi wawazwisisa ke lawo malungelo lawo.
All right. So immediately after the completion of the pro forma, as well as taking the statement, to make your own statement.
Correct.
Yebo ke sikhona ke sami engasenza ke statement.
Was it made under oath?
Yes.
Futhi ke ngasifungela
Before a commissioner of oath?
Correct.
Kambi ke komuntu ke onelungelo ke lokuthi ke anga commissioner.
When did you make the statement? Which day was it?
The same day.
Ngasenza ngalelo langa lelo statement esami.
Sorry, just for the court's purposes, Mr. Baloyi, was that statement discovered or disclosed to all the councils?
Yes, indeed, my lord.
Okay, fine.
So you will agree with me that that an affidavit does not bear the date in which it was made and does not have the stamp.
It is not only the the stamp that is put on an affidavit.
The date, I'm referring to the date in which it was made.
Yes. I made it on the very same day, on the 19th, and I handed it over to Brigadier 2 days after.
Ngasenza ke sami statement ngalelo langa ngase ngisinikeza ke kena ubrigadier emva kweinsuku ezimbili.
All right, let me just clarify this for the last time in relation to the rights that you explained to the accused. The rights that expressly stated in the constitutional rights document that just the interpreter has read, are not the same rights that you have explained to the accused during the taking of this or completion of this pro forma. Those rights are more detailed than what you have read to the accused.
Yes. In terms of Section 35(1) is the rights of an arrested person.
Correct?
Umbuzo uthi ke,
Two.
sorry.
Is the rights of when he's detained. 3 is the rights when he's been charged.
Usiyabuzwa ke ukuthi la malungelo aqeda ufundwa manje ke lana ke enkantolo awafani ajulile wona ke kunala wena ke wamfundela wona ngalelelanga uthi yebo ke kunamalungelo ke ahlukeneke amalungelo ke owafundelayo uma boshwa uma uvalelwe ke usesitoksini kanye futhi ke noma ucharge noma ke usuthweswa amacala.
So the right to be brought before court within 48 hours, was that right explained in terms of your performance?
The right was never. It was never explained to him, because I suggest it was within the proximity that he must go to court on the very same day.
Ilungelo lelo lokuthi ke kufanele aye enkantolo ke kwisikhathi samahora awu48 ke lelo alizange lichazwe ngoba eperforma njengoba ubuza ke ngoba ke mina ngayibona ke ukuthi kwakuse ileso sikhathi leso ke awayesengaya ngaso enkantolo.
All right. Then the right to be presumed innocent until proven guilty, was it explained to him?
That is basically more of on the issue of fair trial.
Ilungelo ke lokuthi manje usekufanele ukuthi ubone ke noma ke umsulu wakhe kuze kube inkantolo ke ikhupha isinqumo ke lokho ke kuphathelene nokuthi ke iqala makuqhula iqala liqhulwa kanjani ke.
Thank you, sir. But now my concern is, when you were taking this confession or alleged confession, you will agree with me that...
Sorry, Mr. Please, just be specific. You said he never made the confession or the statement. Now you are saying when he was taking the said confession. Are you with me?
No, I can rephrase it. I'm with you, my
That's
lord.
it.
Yes. I'm concerned about the right to be presumed innocent until proven guilty. My question is, as per the instruction, as per the correction by the Lordship, a statement was already, according to his version, a statement was already signed. But before he append a signature, did you explain a right to be presumed innocent until proven otherwise? Did you explain that right?
No.
Ilungelo ke lelo ngibuza ngalo ukuthi ke ngithi ke na ke umsulo kuze kube inkantolo yenza isinqumo lelo ke angizange ngichaze.
And at that time, it was imperative that you should have informed the accused that he has such a right, and by mere fact that a confession has been made does not constitute a conviction. Do you understand?
My understanding is that the confession that he made to me was still going to be put before the court for a test. I didn't presume any conviction based on the confession.
Kumina ke lokho awayengitshele kona ke ekukhuluma kumina ke ngangise novoke mina ukuthi lokho kusezobekwa ngaphambi kwenkantolo kube inkantolo ke ezothatha isinqumo ngako mina ke angizange kuhlanganise ke lokho nokuthi manje ke usenecala ke noma uselahliwe icala.
Yes, yeah, in line with my question. In other words, in your mind, that right of being presumed innocent was still applicable to the accused.
Like any police official, you are optimistic about your job that you are doing. And the main thing you must put a win at the forefront.
Nanjengoba naliphike iphoyisa ke uma wenza ke umsebenzi wakho ke futhi ke uyimiseleke futhi nethemba uma wenza umsebenzi futhi ke ngaphambili ke ubeka ukuthi ke ubheke ukuphumelela noma impumeleleke lokho.
May I approach my colleague?
Yes, yes. Sorry, Mr. Bondo, what time is it?
It's 27 minutes past 11. That's what my colleague was asking.
Oh, was he asking the time?
For
Until
the
15
normal
minutes
standard.
adjournment?
No. The reason why.
Lieutenant Colonel?
Correct, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
Lieutenant Colonel, in your experience, how many confessions have you made before this one?
Might be around about 20.
Ngaphandle kwalena ke ngaphambilini ke ungasho nje ukuthi ke awu 20 ke esama confessions esemvensile.
Is it correct, Lieutenant Colonel, that the pro forma to a confession statement is used as guidelines in the obtaining of statements? You confirm that?
As
guidelines.
that's correct, yes.
It is not a statutory form. It is not a statutory form.
Correct, yes.
Ukuthi ke iproforma lena ke isetshenziswa nanjenge ekuyona ke eholayo noma ekhomsayo ukuthi kufanele kwenzeni.
During that process that you were having with the accused, the deponent, you were being guided by the form to a statement, exhibit HH. You confirm that?
Correct.
Nokuthi ke iyona ke ingayida ke le form lena ke kusona ke istatement bese ayizosenza noma asenza.
You also told this court that the accused was arrested on the 16th of June 2020. The 16th of June 2020 was a holiday. It's a youth day. You confirm that?
Yes, is what he alleged to me.
Iloko ke wakusho mina ukuthi kwaboshwa ke ngazo i-16th ka June 2020.
Do you confirm, Lieutenant Colonel, that the 17th of June 2020, which is the following day, it was a business day, it was an open day?
That I cannot deny.
Ukuthi ke isuku elilandelayo ke manje kwakuse usuku ke lenjwayelo usukuekusetshenzwa ngalo angeke kuphike lokho.
You also told this court, Lieutenant Colonel, in your evidence in chief that Brigadier Ginina called you again, that is after he had called you on the 18th of June 2020, he called you again on the morning of the 19th of June 2020. To confirm that?
Correct.
Shiloke nokuthi emuva kokuthi angifonele uBrigadier Ginina nge-18 uphindile futhi nange-19 wangifonela.
When you were having a conversation with Brigadier Ginina, did he tell you what attempts he had made to secure the services of a magistrate?
No.
Akazange angitshele ukuthi yini ayenza ukuthi athole umantshi.
Do you also confirm that this form, which is used as a guideline, does not provide for the provisions or attempts that had been made by the police who called you to assist in the obtaining of a statement, in the securing of a magistrate? You confirm that this form does not provide
That's correct.
for the attempts which were made by the person who called you to assist to secure a magistrate. It does not provide that.
It does not provide it.
Ayikhulumi lutho ke ngokuthi yini eyenziwa ke ukuzama ukuthola imantshi.
Let us now proceed, Lieutenant Colonel, to the following page of Exhibit HH, which deals with legal representation. Do you confirm, Lieutenant Colonel, that the rights which are contained at the top of page 2 refers to the category of persons, that is arrested persons, in terms of section 35, 1A to F of the Constitution? Do you confirm that the rights that you say you apprise the accused of relates to section 35, 1, small letter A to F of the Constitution? You confirm that?
I cannot be
follow it.
specific about the sections, but what I can say is that the rights that are given to him is for the purpose of a trial.
Ukuthi ke lama rights ke ukuthi aphansi kwayiphi ke section leko angeke qinisekise kodwa ke lama rights ke alana ke la engithi ngamtshela wona ke ama rights aphathelene nalo ke icala noma uqulwa kwecala.
Lieutenant Colonel, what is your home language?
Isipedi.
Lami ke iSpedi.
Do you confirm that yesterday you told this court that you understand or understood isiZulu because at some point before you joined the SAPS, you stayed at the hostel, so you understood isiZulu very well?
Correct.
Ngishilo ke ukuthi ke ngihlezi ke ehostel futhi ke isiZulu ngisazi kahle.
Can you then go to paragraph 1, Lieutenant Colonel? That is the first right that you are apprised the accused of. You told this court that in terms of section 35 of the final constitution, you apprised the accused or the deponent of the following rights: that he was informed of his right to remain silent and warned that anything he says may be held against him in a court of law. I'll just stop there for now. Can you please then translate in isiZulu for the benefit of the court as to what?
Not for my benefit, my mother is Zulu.
For the benefit, for my benefit.
Yeah,
Yes.
not for mine.
Yeah, I'm sorry, my lord, I did not know that your mother is Zulu speaking. Yes.
Ngotogo
For my-
ufi.
Pardon, my lord.
Ngotogo ufi ngesiZulu. Ngotogo ufi. Umphemba. Mbhele. Okay, go on, sir.
Thank you for that moment.
Must you translate or interpret?
Yes, can you interpret then? Can you interpret in isiZulu?
They say you must translate in other words.
Unelungelo lawuthi ungasho lutho ngoba lento uzoyisho la izobhalwa phansi isebenziswe engufakazi ecourt.
Okay.
I'm just looking at the handbook or reading at the handbook, Lieutenant Colonel, which provides for the rights of arrested persons. I'm going to read it for the record. Section 35 deals with the rights of arrested, detained, and accused persons. Section 35(1) reads as follows: everyone who is arrested for allegedly committing an offense has a right, small letter A in bracket, to remain silent. Small letter B, to be informed promptly, that is Roman figure 1 in bracket, of the right to remain silent, and Roman figure 2 of the consequences of not remaining silent. I'll stop there for now. In the rights that you apprise the accused or the deponent of, did you also explain to the accused of the consequences of not remaining silent?
Yes, I understand.
So my question, Lieutenant, was the following. When you were with the accused or the deponent, did you apprise him of the right to remain silent and the consequences of not remaining silent? That is the question I'm asking you.
I explained him the rights as set out in the format.
Sorry.
I didn't go into details as to the book explains.
Ngithatheleke amalungelo ngokwendlela ke abhalwe ngayo khona la kwiform angiwachazanga ke ukuthi ke ngijuleke ngalendlela ke la encwadini bejule ngakhona.
Small letter C in bracket further goes
Sorry,
on.
Mr. Noma, that handbook, as you call it, it's for a policeman who finds a person committing an offense.
It is also for a police officer.
Now, the person who was making a confession was already arrested, according to him, that person. He says he was arrested on the 16th.
On the
And on the
16th.
19th, he takes a confessional statement.
Yes.
But the book we are quoting for him is for a person who is arrested now. You promptly advise him, as you have read out. Is it applicable to the exigency which he's dealing with?
He has to explain to him at that point when he was with the deponent of his rights again in terms of Section 35, so that
Okay.
he is aware of what is going to happen if he continues with the procedure of obtaining a statement from the accused person. That is my understanding.
I see. Okay.
Lieutenant Colonel, is it correct that you did not explain to the accused that he was not compelled to make any confession or admission that could be used in evidence against him? You confirm that?
No, I read that to him as part and parcel of his rights.
Ngiyamfundela-ke lokho ukuthi-ke akaphoqelekile-ke ukuthi angenza-ke noma angakhuluma lokho ongathi-ke kusetshenziswe ngakuyena nanjengobufakazi ngayifunda-ke leyo.
The right that I've read to you, where is it in the proforma? Exhibit HH. The one that you read to him.
At number 1.
Lena-ke yile elaphayana phezulu-ke ku-number 1.
That anything he says may be used against him as evidence in a court of law.
Ukuthi-ke nakuphi-ke akushoyo kungasetshenziswa-ke ngakuyena-ke nanjengobufakazi enkantolo.
Let us move on, Lieutenant Colonel, to paragraph 12 of Exhibit HH. Maybe before we go to paragraph 12 of Exhibit HH, can we move to paragraph 11 of Exhibit HH? Paragraph 11 of Exhibit HH reads as follows. That is the question that you posed to the deponent. Have you at any time in the past made a statement, whether orally in writing, to any person concerning this incident? The answer was no. Do you confirm that?
Correct.
Ngiyavuma-ke la uba unombuzo-ke othi ingabe ngaphambilini-ke usenzile yini i-statement-ke noma-ke ngenkulumo noma ngokubhala phansi komunye umuntu mayelana nalesi sehlakalo noma lesigameko. Impendulo yathi cha.
When this question, Lieutenant Colonel, is posed, that have you at any time in the past made any statement, whether orally or in writing, to any person, it relates to which person? It relates to which person? If you ask the deponent whether it made any statement in the past to any person, which person is it referring to? Do you know?
It refers to any investigating officer or any other person, justice of the peace.
Makubuzwa-ke ukuthi komunye nje umuntu ukhuluma-ke ngakhuluma-ke ngomseshi umphenyi wecala noma-ke kulaba abizwa-ke ngokuthi justice peace.
If it were to include the investigation officer of this case, it will mean that when the accused or the deponent responded to you, he told you that he had not made any statement to the investigation officer in the past before he appeared before you.
In overall, he has mentioned to me that he has not made any statement to anybody.
Ewayekusho-ke la ukuthi kazi nje enze i-statement-ke nakuphi umuntu.
If he were to make any statement either to the investigation officer or any person, it could be the justice of the peace. It could be at the time of the interview before he appeared before you. Do you confirm that?
That's correct.
Uma kuwukuthi-ke wayesenzile-ke ngaphambilini komunye umuntu noma kubanye-ke lokho kuzosho ukuthi-ke ngaphambi kwakuthi azokhulumisana nami.
At paragraph 12, you also asked the deponent whether he was under arrest, and he confirmed that he had been arrested on the 16th of June 2020. Was it in respect of this case?
No, I didn't ask. That's why in my evidence in chief, I said that I didn't even want to know the contents.
The contents.
Yes.
ukuthi ke wayeboshelweni ke 16 zika June 2020 ngingakho bengishelwa ke nangaphambili ukuthi angizange ngifuneke ukuthi ngazi imininingwane.
At paragraph 16.1 of Exhibit HH, that is observation of the justice of the peace. I'm sorry. What did you observe? What were your observation?
16.
It starts at paragraph 16. Are you at this moment under influence of any liquor or drugs? The answer was no. Then at paragraph 16.1, observation by the justice of the peace, that is yourself. I see that there was no response there. What did you observe? What were your observation?
The observation was based on the issue of assault.
Mangithi ke yini engayibona ko kanje mangimbheka ke lokho kwakuphathelene noma kwakumayela ke nodaba lokushaya.
No, I'm sorry, Lieutenant Colonel. 16.1 deals with the following question that you posed to the deponent. Are you at this moment under the influence of any liquor and or drugs? The answer was no. So 16.1 is a follow-up to the question as paragraph 16. What was your observation with regards to the paragraph?
No, I understand. I'm sorry I made a mistake, my lord. The observation was that the accused person was clear from any usage of drugs, and it was in the early hours of the morning. It was clean and at ease.
Ongakubona-ke noma uma ngimbheka-ke ukuthi-ke kwakungekho-ke iy'nkomba zokusetshenziswa kwey'dakamizwa futhi-ke kwakusekuseni njena futhi-ke eclean.
Thank you, Lieutenant Colonel. Thank you, my lord. I have no further questions.
Thank you, Mr. Solomon.
Thank you, my lord. My lord, I'm not ready to resume with my cross-examination at this stage. My lord, this morning I was furnished with a statement by the state, which is the statement of Sergeant Mohane. The statement, my lord, relates to the arrest of the witness, of the accused that you are dealing with, and it relates to the detention, respectively, of the accused. Therefore, my lord, I'm asking for the permission or for time to compare the statement with the OB book entries. It was given to me when we were already here. I'm not sure with other defense counsel, but I'm talking for myself, my lord.
Mr. Louis.
Yes, I confirm that, my lord. I received it this morning, and I made copies for all counsel and explained to them that I've also just received it.
So, what time do you need, ma'am? How much time?
My lord, maybe we can adjourn until tomorrow because I need to get the books from the state. I think they are here in court. Then I can use the afternoon to peruse the OB books in respect of this statement, or in respect of the content of the statement.
Yes, Mr. Allen.
We have no objection against that, my lord.
The other counsels, Mr. Gomez, Mr. Nesi, and Mr. Nimala.
No objection.
My lord, I confirm as well that the statement was finished to us in the morning, and in the light of its contents, my lord, will also seek to consult with accused number 2 because it specifically relates to his arrest and detention. Yesterday, my lord, will recall that I managed to peruse the original registers, the OBs, the 40s pertaining to both accused number 1 and 2. However, my lord, we still also are waiting for Morocco, where the accused person was initially arrested, and after the alleged assault, he was taken to Primrose. So we are also looking for the registers for Primrose as well. We haven't been finished with those, my lord, as the court pleases, my lord.
Okay. Are you available, Lieutenant Colonel, tomorrow?
Yes, my lord.
Malata, I can just mention that issues relating to a trial within a trial are raised only when the statement is handed up. So new issues arise and the state becomes for the first time of the issues, those issues where the defense of the accused is, and hence the statement was only made yesterday and finished to us this morning. It addresses the issues that were raised recently in the trial within a trial.
Okay, because of those reasons, this court is reluctant to just postpone matters. As you know, my attitude. But I don't want it to be said that I'm impeding, infringing the rights to a fair trial of the accused. So I will accede to the postponement until tomorrow at 10 a.m. Okay.
I support this. Try